important thing is to do the prevention by giving her the vaccination at about the 28th week of pregnancy and within 72 hours of delivery
of the
child.
We're going to come back to that, but right now we have to take a break. We're taking a break right now and coming back right after now. You're welcome back. We're talking about the Rhesus disease and its health matters on Channels Television. It's time for you to interact with us. You can call, ask your questions, or talk about some of your experiences. The number to call is 01-2206-842. That's 01-2206-842, while we continue with the conversation with Dr. Adeyemo. Now, I have heard that sometimes, you mentioned just now, you give the woman an injection after she has had the baby. Now, people say after the first baby, after the first baby. Why after the first baby? Why not before or during?
You see, the first baby is not at risk, or is usually not at risk of Rhesus immunization, okay? Because as at that time, you don't have a maternal-child blood exchange yet, okay? But if a woman is having a first baby, but there is a history that she's had a miscarriage before, an ectopic pregnancy before, or she's even had an abdominal trauma, an accident to the abdomen during this pregnancy, then you don't have to wait for her to deliver this first baby before you give her this vaccination.
You assume immediately that she's been sensitized.
She's going to be sensitized because she's had an exposure to the child's red cells. Okay, so you're going to give the vaccination. Okay, but by and large, we give it at 28 weeks and immediately after delivery of the first child. Okay, so that she is not sensitized from that exposure. Okay, and then subsequently she won't develop the antibody that is going to be a problem with subsequent pregnancy.
Okay. Now, I want to know, if you don't do all these very high-tech tests, amniocentesis and all those other things, is it possible to just look at a woman and know that there's something happening? There's this RH thing going on between her and her baby. Does it show? Does she have physical signs?
Of course not.
No physical signs?
No physical signs. She just looked like every normal pregnant
How
woman.
about the baby? Will she be reporting any problems with the pregnancy? That the baby is doing this, or it's not moving well, or anything like that?
Not at all, unless the baby has been so severely affected and has developed severe anemia that has compromised the baby's life.
So that's an argument for attending antenatals.
Of course, but then we don't even want it to get there. The argument one of the arguments for attending antenatal is that you even want to prevent her to be sensitized at all. You want to prevent alloimmunization. That is the main focus of management, preventing alloimmunization. So a woman must have her RH blood type determined at the very first prenatal visit. Okay, that is one of the essence of prenatal clinic attendance. Okay.
Now, we know now that there can be compromise, there will be destruction of blood cells in the baby because of antibody attack from the mom and all that. But are there further consequences down the line? What could happen if this thing is allowed to go on for too long?
If it is allowed to go on, as I said, the main problem you have there is the build-up of bilirubin, which is a byproduct of red cell breakdown. Okay. If it's built up, bilirubin is very toxic to the nervous system. Okay, it is just simply going to damage the baby's nervous system, particularly the brain. Okay, and then the child is going to develop cerebral palsy, is going to become atonic and have muscular tone problems.
That's atonic,
yeah.
Muscular problem.
Okay.
He'll be having a problem moving.
Exactly, including mental retardation, okay, cerebral palsy, and that is not a good thing, particularly for something that can be preventable, for something that is preventable.
Okay, you also said that if the woman loses a baby, it's not a call to forget about the injection. She still gets
because she has a chance of having been exposed. In fact, this exposure occurs in 75% of pregnancy, whether you are Rhesus positive or negative. Okay. In 75% of pregnancies, there is some maternal to fetal exchange, blood exchange, okay? a few meals to 20 meals to a little more than
20
that.
meals is a lot.
From a meal to depending on what has caused the fetal exchange. If it's from an abdominal trauma, for example, or a placenta abruption, okay, something that has really exposed or compromised the placenta, of course, the volume is going to be far higher. But otherwise, it is normal a bit that for you to have a bit of some maternal to fetal blood exchange. It occurs in about 75% of pregnancy. For those that are Rh positive, of course, that is no problem because there is no chance of being sensitized otherwise for an antigen that they already processed. It is only a problem for those that are Rh negative.
Okay. Now, this woman who has been exposed, sensitized, does she have to take these injections each time she's having a new baby?
Yeah, because each time is an exposure.
What if the second, maybe third baby is not positive? Doesn't have the rhesus factor?
Yeah, you see, then that means you have to have determined the rhesus type of the fetus while the fetus is still in utero.
Is that possible?
It is possible, but of course it involves some invasive procedure, okay, that sometimes may not be worth it. It will just be safer, for example, because she's got nothing to lose if she just gets the injection, except the costs, of course, of the injection. You don't want to take the risk, okay? But if you think you want to go all the way to determine the rhesus type of the fetus while the fetus is still in utero, to determine the risk of sensitization, of course, that is very much possible.
Now, people say there's a blood type that you can give to anybody, irrespective of what they are, A, B, O, whatever, positive, negative. Is there truly a blood type that everybody can receive?
Well, to the layman, maybe. The O rhesus negative, well, maybe regarded as a universal.
Why may? Why all that?
Because for us, specialists in that field, we know that people who are rhesus, O Rh negative, may also have an ABO anti-A or anti-B antibodies.
Complications are coming.
Exactly, that may cross, that are so small and may cause problems.
Okay, so you can't just say, oh, I'm O negative, I've come to donate blood. Anybody can get my blood.
You leave that to be determined by the blood transfusion specialist. Okay. They determine what is compatible for individuals. Okay, now they appear to be O negative, appear to be universally donor, but may not actually be compatible for everybody. So, okay, so
yes,
you need the
another thing people say. I want to clear this one for the last time. People say you can't really tell what blood type a baby has when the baby has been born. You know, maybe he's some months old. Oh no, don't go and check his blood type yet. You won't be sure. Maybe when he's older, it's going to change. Is there any such thing?
Well, you can determine a baby's blood type as soon as the baby is born.
And it doesn't change?
No, it doesn't change.
No, that was a big myth we always heard.
It's something that is inherited. What you inherit, you have for life.
Okay. Then is there any connection between the Rh factor and the resistance to diseases? People say, oh, I'm AS, I don't usually get malaria and stuff like that. Is it true?
Regarding the hemoglobin type, okay, because we are going into the hemoglobin type now, and then you have hemoglobin A and hemoglobin S in people with sickle cell.
Okay,
okay,
yes. That
is another dimension. Okay, people who have inherited hemoglobin AS are known to have resistance to malaria.
So
okay,
it's true.
But that is not true for Rhesus. Okay. Rhesus does not protect against malaria. In fact, as I said earlier, it has absolutely no effect on our health.
Okay.
Okay, it just distinguishes us from one from the other, but has absolutely no effect on our health. It's only of importance where you have maternal alloimmunization.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adeyemo. It's been wonderful having you on the show.
You're welcome.
Thanks for being with us and listening in. I hope you learned a thing or two about the rhesus factor and the rhesus disease. And thanks, as always, for staying in there. You can get repeat episodes of this program within the week. You can also watch any of these episodes on youtube.com/channelsweb. And of course, tweet at me anytime. I am Mary Alale Yusuf. Have a good day.